Good morning, everyone. This is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and we are here with day 138 of Coffee and MTG, the morning talk show where we discuss all things Magic the Gathering. The first part of the show, we do Q&A. We have Magic discussion. You got questions. You better believe both myself and the community. We're going to bring on the answers. And the second part is we do decklist reviews. So you have a decklist you have always wanted to get feedback on. You're 75, you want a better mana base, a better win condition, you want to fix out the sideboard for today's metagame, you submit it to us and we will get back to it. If you can submit it, you'll be chosen at random, and we do this every single day, Monday to Friday. So step one, brew up the cup of coffee, and then let's brew up the Magic conversation. Good morning, Grim Ducky. Good morning to everybody who is here this morning. Good morning, Mr. Goo. And I hope this is going to be the first of many. We have a special guest today, everyone. Oh, we have a special guest. It's going to be an exciting day to answer your questions and help refine those deck lists. I would love to welcome onto the show today Willie Hall from the Will Hall Experience. Good afternoon to you.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to me. That's right.
Good morning to you.
Where exactly are you from? The UK?
The south of the UK.
The south of the UK.
Have you ever heard of an
Kingdom
drink called cider?
Yes.
I'm where from when that's made.
Wow. Unbelievable. Amazing.
I'm basically famous. Is that right?
Do you love cider?
I love cider. I don't drink beer, but I drink cider.
All right. Excellent.
And the worst cider I ever had was in New York. Weirdly, I asked the guy for cider, and he went, "You know that's made from apples, don't you?" I was like, yeah, I'm fully aware it's made of apples. He gave me it, and it was like the oldest cider bottles in the world. Like you open them, they're still flat. You're like, I'm having fun.
Exactly.
Hilarious. Oh no, now I can see chat. Sorry, add it.
Hello, kings. We are kings. That's right. We are the kings. We're the kings of Twitch. Cider is my drink of choice. This is definitely on the top. We had a discussion in private, top 5 drinks. And I believe cider was on Lord Magicus's top 5. Good morning, Shadow Walker.
Where's Lord from in the world?
America, close to Philadelphia.
America. That's interesting. It's interesting.
The United States has everything. Same thing with Canada. We have everything. You want to find something? It's somewhere in Canada. We've got it somewhere, stored somewhere away, some pocket. Good morning, Shadow Walker. Good morning, Reality. Yeah, near Philadelphia and New York City. Good morning, Mikey J. I'm here for some shit talking on control players. Oh, absolutely, we could do that. I have no problem shit talking the control players, and it's really easy for me because I crush them all the time, both with my Cavernous Souls, my Ether Vials, my Island Walk, the counter spells. How do you feel about control players?
I try and kill them on turn 2 before they untap. So.
There we go. I don't really have a whole lot of salt for control players because I usually obliterate them.
So I do play a lot of Ura at the minute. So I can't deny that I do play a lot of Ura. That card is so damn good. I can't not play that card.
I wonder what control is like if this card doesn't exist. You know, there's a lot of diverse Uro decks. There's Sultai, there's Teamer, there's Bant. There's 4-color, there's Omnath. There's one with Wilderness Reclamation, one's without. There's a Scape Shift version now in Uro deck, and it's sort of combo control, right? Yeah,
the Dwarven Mine one, right? Where they make the dwarf and they polymorph it. Is that the one you're talking about?
No, it's literally Scape Shift. It's they just make land drops and then they cast Scape Shift and then they win on the spot.
Oh, I played yesterday against a Dwarven Mine polymorph Scape Shift Titan deck.
Oh wow, I've never heard of that.
Went off both games. I was like, whoa, this deck looks great. It looks busted.
So they're playing polymorph to cheat out a Titan on
so they
4 mana?
So they ramp into mountains. They play the Dwarven Mine, get the 1/1 Dwarven token. Then they used there's 2 red polymorphs. They use that to then ramp into Titan. Titan then gets some more lands for Scape Shift. Then they Scape Shift and win.
Is there another site for looking up cards? I used to use Scryfall, but they're down today.
I use what's this one called? MTG Picks and .com.
MTG.
That's where I get my card art from anyway for
Picks.
thumbnails.
Might help. mtgpicks.com. We're going to look for Dwarven Mine.
Obviously, you don't draft a lot. This card was like there's like a whole format where you just tried to get as many of these as you could, so you get loads of dwarves and like try and mean people to win, basically.
This is the best that we can do for today. Oops.
I think if you click on it, does it go bigger? White click? No.
I should make usually I can make the screen larger. Look, this is what Scryfall looks like today. We get your act together, Scryfall. I need your art for my show.
We're having some technical issues. Please stand by.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, JP2493. What does the 2493 stand for?
Good morning, JP.
I'm going to go on a limb. He was born the 24th of the year 93.
But we don't know the month.
No,
not a bad
details.
Not a bad guess. Not a bad guess. Yeah, you don't want to give those details. They can use them to reverse engineer your bank account. You gotta be careful how much details you give out on the internet.
So Grim Duckies says there about about Uro who's got nice art and he gets banned in modern. I imagine you've spoken about Uro and if it deserves to be banned or not in modern. I'm guessing you've over all your coffees, MTGs, you spoke about this before, right? We don't need to go over this again, or do we need to go over this again?
We can go over it again. I mean, there's a lot to discuss about Uro. I can't go over everything, but like one thing about Uro, I mean, it was between this and Arkham's Astrolabe, remember? It was true. Which one are they going to ban? And they ended up banning Arkham's Astrolabe, and it didn't really change anything. I mean,
well, it made everyone not as greedy, right? Even everyone's kind of found a way around to be greedy. That was like the quick shortcut to being greedy. Now everyone's like, there's little repercussions. You can't play Archmage Charm in your 4-color deck anymore. Even though some decks are trying to do that. But an Archmage Charm is a bomb in those decks. Like it's really good, especially against the Upsil Spells deck. Mm-hmm. So if you let the Upsil Spells deck go off, and then when
show this interaction, yeah.
And then you make them draw 2 cards, then you win the game. Little tip for you guys out there. It's brilliant when that happens. You just watch the soul get crushed.
Yeah, alternatively, it's also a counter spell. So if they play Goblin Charbelcher, you can counter it. Because I don't think you can interact. I don't think you can mill them in response. There's no way to interact with Charbelcher by milling them.
No. So you can counter that. Also, there's loads of Death Shadow decks at the minute. I played against 3 of them last night in a row. 1, 2, 3. 3 different variants of Death Shadow.
Oh, no. With the Hollow One deck?
No, thank God. With mono black demigod devotion, I'll have you know.
Oh my God.
Hey, I went 3-2 with that deck. You'd be surprised. I wish I was playing against you with that one than that other deck.
Could have been a completely different story yesterday.
That Hollow One deck was not the best deck in the world. Let's put it that way. Yeah, this is the way Ashley basically turned this off from 4-color decks. This is why I would really only play 3-color decks if I was playing this one now, and even then that sounds greedy. But we are playing modern. The Tri-Land do quite a lot.
It's still pretty greedy out there right now. I mean, I guess the Tri-Lands sort of slow the deck down, even though there's a lot of things they're not doing on turn 1.
That's what I mean. It's just basically I've got no turn 1 play into cycle. Ashley also killed the Urza deck, really, I think, and that deck was very good. Very, very good.
Where it made people lose a lot of faith in that deck, because I don't really believe that the banning of Arkham's Astrolabe should make the deck unplayable. But no one's really been picking it up since. It was
also Opal as well around that time as well, right? Like
they lost a lot. They lost Oko. They lost Opal. They lost Arkham's Astrolabe. Like everything that used to be like wonderful in this deck has now been banned for the most part.
Do you think Opal died for Urza's sins? Like if Opal was around now and Urza was banned, do you think the meta's?
I mean, like we could talk about that. The thing about Opal is that it's always been a broken card for like at least 7 years. So I mean, I could rattle off a bunch of really oppressive decks that required a lot of sideboard cards to even just keep it in check. We're talking like Affinity, Hardened Scales Affinity, Lantern Control. Krark Clan Ironworks. There have been multiple different types of Prison decks, both Prison and using Urza, using without Urza. Then there were the Urza decks that popped up. I'm missing one. There's got to be some other
argument
decks.
for that is, yeah, you had to have, like, if you didn't come prepared to a tournament to face Affinity, you're going to get steamrolled by Affinity.
Absolutely, you're getting killed.
With Dredge right now,
and so, see that's the thing. So what ended up happening is over the course of history, people started asking, can we have 25 cards in our sideboard, because they couldn't beat Affinity and Dredge at the same time. So what they ended up doing is they banned Golgari Grave Troll to take Dredge down a peg. But then Cheerios, that's a good one. I'm still missing some really, and that was a turn 2 deck potentially. So what ended up happening is now Affinity again was the deck that you needed the sideboard cards if you wanted to beat it. And then at some point, the format became very graveyard based. Eventually Karkline Ironworks was like the premier artifact deck. You couldn't play Lantern Control. You just forget all the other artifact decks. If you're gonna play Mox Opal, you gotta play Karkline Ironworks. So where's Karkline Ironworks here?
Who is it that went like on a crazy run of it? Which pro was
Matt
it?
Nass. Matt Nass. It's his fault. It's completely his fault. It's all his fault. This card this card is banned. And it took a long time to get banned because people didn't really want to play this deck at first. Like,
have you ever played the deck when it was legal though? Do you know how much of a big brain play you need? Like, I tried playing it 2 or 3 times and I couldn't. Like, I was just sequencing things wrong every time. I think that's why it took so long, because it's I'm not great to do this deck, so I couldn't do it. But
and it's just a weird deck to invest in. Like, at the time there weren't like rental services, so if you wanted to play this deck, you literally had to buy it. And people were a little concerned, is this deck going to get banned? Are they going to ban Opal? Are they going to ban Karkline Ironworks? What are they going to do? Matt Nass was like a huge monster with the deck. Like 85% win percentage. Like, he was killing it in the GPs, making multiple back-to-back like finalist finishes in modern tournaments. And at a time that modern was pretty oppressive. We had like Is It Phoenix and Dredge was popping up again thanks to the printing of Creeping Chill and there's really stupid decks there were at the time. But so modern was pretty, because there's a lot of faithless looting decks, including like Hollow One and stuff like that. So it was a very oppressive time, and Karkline Ironworks was doing really well. So anyway, that Opal completely turned this deck on. Without Opal, it would have. Without Opal, it would still have been really good. I mean, I'm sure Karkline Ironworks was the correct ban, but still, like, Opal was a big deal. Now, I will say that most of the Opal decks got killed when Karn got printed. Most of your traditional, like, Lantern Control can't exist while this card exists.
Thank God.
All the affinity archetypes were hurt a lot, even with Mox Opal. The thing is, when this card got printed, even with Opal in the format, no one could play affinity, or not very well. They just collapsed like to 0.5% of the metagame. And then all we had left was the Urza decks.
So what do you think about Spirit Guide then? Simian Spirit Guide.
Simian Spirit, it's our Lotus Petal.
Legal. That is, it's still legal in modern, and that enables any broken deck is playing that card basically.
Well,
and
the way
a little cool for it to be banned.
Maybe it can get banned one day, but I look at it as just a one-time shot. Whereas with Mox Opal, you get that extra mana on turn 2, and then on turn 3 and on turn 4. It's like a repeated Simian Spirit Guide. This is card disadvantage, so you are giving up something to ramp into something. The games where my opponent wants to go Simian Spirit Guide Ritual into Blood Moon on turn 2, and then it turns out I am just a mono island deck. They gave up they just like threw away 3 cards in order to do that on turn 2. Yeah, it maybe one day it can get banned, but I think the decks that use it aren't too oppressive. You look at Ad Nauseam.
No, I don't think they are. Well, it is in the Ipsal Spells deck at the minute.
Yes, it is.
The thing of this card is it enables. Yeah, if they do it all turn 2, but normally you don't get a turn 2 once they go off. That's the idea of the decks that play us with mock decks, where they would grind out with an actual combo loop, where this is just like a one shot.
Yeah, it's just one-time ramp, but yeah, like if let's say we want to ban something from the Oops All Spells deck, like what do we ban? Is there anything good? I don't know. I don't even know if there's anything that needs to be banned, because in my mind, Oops All Spells is like another Neo brand deck where if you can see it coming, there are answers out there in the format. If you don't see it coming, you're gonna get crushed on turn 2, and there's just not much you can do about it.
Do you know what I keep saying that should get banned, and I don't think it will get banned, but I think that the green Pact should get banned.
Oh, Summoner's Pact.
I think Titan is genuinely like one of the best decks, if not the best deck in Modern, but I don't think there's enough good players that can play it well. I think there's probably between 3 to 5, top tier players of this deck would be the best line every time, and their win rates of it are sick, but a lot of people pick it up because you can just durdle through it and still win, but they see the 0.1% lines that will get them the win. And I don't think you can ban Amulet, but Pact, you can also get rid of Neoform then, which that deck just being a deck in Modern is annoying anyway.
It's a very it's a very interesting choice. It's again free mana, 0 mana. I am heavily against 0 mana stuff. I really hate stuff that you can't interact with very well. And most of the decks that play this card don't really either very easily can pay for it, like the Titan decks, or have no intention of paying for it because they're going to win on the very turn.
On the peak of the deck strength. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think the peak of the deck strength is shown because there's not enough people. Like, obviously, you got like Fran, House. I'm sure I'm missing a few other people that are really good with this deck. And I'm sure if there was a Modern tournament coming up, I reckon a high percentage of pros, like back in the day when we used to have pro tours of Modern, I reckon a high percentage would be able to play this if they got the reps in there. Be like, yeah, this is the deck we play. It's so consistent and can win. It can go off really early. It can survive through hate. Like if a land deck survives through Blood Moon, you know there's something going on here, right? They can tutor for the targets with this. Oh yeah, okay, you got Blood Moon. Cool, I'll go get a way to kill it. Was it Reclaimer? What's the green one that kills it? The elf.
Huh? What are you talking about?
It's a 2/1 3 mana, comes into play, destroy target artifact creature.
Reclamation Sage.
That's the one, Sage. It was just like
but it destroys the target artifact or enchantment. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like if you bring in Blood Moon against them, say against a land deck, they can just go find the piece they need with this. They only need one, and then they also got the free drop that turns on Valakut. You know, the deck is just so got all the cards in it, just works so well together. I just don't think there's enough people literally fine tuned to it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like you're like a merfolk ninja, okay? So like you see all the lines that happen with merfolk more than 99% of other people would.
That's right.
But like there's not that many people that are dedicated to one deck and like tunnel vision with it will get the reps in, especially like streamers and stuff like that at the minute. Like a lot of streamers now, we've all got all these trade accounts of mana traders and etc. We can play a vast variety of decks. Like
I can play anything now.
Every deck there is besides some slivers, but we should get onto that another time. Play damn slivers for me.
Maybe we got to play. I think slivers has got a lot of good stuff going for it.
Amulet is an amazing deck. It's very good.
Anyway, this is an interesting you know what? It's never been on my radar. It would make the Titan decks less consistent because they can no longer their Titans in their deck is Primeval Titan, Teleria West, because Teleria West can find Summoner's Pact. So like if you get rid of this,
if they have the Titan, but they need the free drop, can't remember its name, sorry, chat. But like
Dryad of the Elysian Grove.
No, is that Dryad? Yeah, Dryad. If they need Dryad, they can just go get Dryad. Yeah, I mean, like it will finish the combo element. That can also win through Ensnaring Bridge. I suppose it can't. Well, it can attack through, and then you've got the Field of the Dead angle to attack from. Like it's got so many angles and so many lines, and you've got different variants now. You've got the green white versions, which are really good, like a toolbox deck.
Yep.
Using the is it Emery's Recall or something like that? It's called.
Are you talking about the Elvish Reclaimer?
No, it's two mana, 1 green, 1 white, instant. Go search for a creature in your deck. Put it into your hand.
Oh, you mean the green white instant Aladdin Recall?
That's the one, yeah.
Vladimir.
I don't know if it's 12 they have in the deck. I think it's 10. Don't they play like two two Western, like 10? You know what I mean? Like all these cards have slightly been printed over the years, and they just all fit in this deck really well. Like back in the day, it was just okay, Titan, can they go off? Give it haste, give it double strike, give it trample. Cool, you take 18 points of damage. You've got another turn to untap. Now it's there is no untap. There is all my stuff's mountains. I'm going to shoot you for 12 points of damage. Here's a 6/6 trampler. Plus, I've got an extra 4 2/2 zombies on the battlefield. The deck just when it wins, it wins. There's no
when you compare it to what it was before, I mean, it looks like way worse. They give you one whole less turn. Either they shoot you dead with the Valakuts, thanks to Dry the Elysian Grove, or they put up this giant army of defense with Field of the Dead.
Scene.
Yeah, it's not even. When you frame it like that, I can see how different it was in the past. Usually they just hit you for like 16, and then you get another turn.
I had one of my favorite kills in a tournament in that against the old Star Amulet Titan. So they went, got Titan, did the Pact thing, etc. Then they went to give it haste. I Avenge Vines it, so they couldn't give it haste, and they didn't have the double green to pay for the Pact in the upkeep. So then I won. That's for any of you old school modern players out there who know what I'm talking about there.
Oh, we're back. Sweet.
Oh, is it working again?
We got the good stuff.
See, maybe they're watching.
Maybe. No, oh my God, we're on good old prime time.
You think the Dead needs a ban?
Well, it's already been banned, right? And no, it was suspended. It's banned in Pioneer, is it not? Well, let's look up
Pioneer Historic as well. Maybe I think.
I can't tell from as a Merfolk player because I usually don't care about the zombies. I just have Island Walk and I can steamroll my opponent. But I can see how this is a problem. Especially in the control decks, and you have like so many different lands. You can just random lands you can jam in a control deck. It just gives them like an alternate win condition. Like if you're flooding out, you still get zombies. So you actually have a defense and win condition even when you're flooding out. There's like no way to flood out in Magic anymore. It's basically impossible.
I can understand that why people will call for this to be banned, but if you look at the card itself, it is a late game card. Right, there's ways to beat this card in Modern, and that's the thing I love about Modern is there's no single deck that there is not at least multiple pieces of hate for. So if you're gunning for a deck, you can do it. Like they just reprinted they just printed the Wildfires. Is it the 2-mana red card? Destroy target land. They go find a basic, draw a card.
Cleansing Wildfire.
Yeah, Cleansing Wildfire. That's it. So 2-mana Field of the Dead's gone. You've got the old Fulminator Mages. You've got Assassin's Trophy now. You've got Field of the Dead. Like, obviously the Taxes decks are quite popular. So if everyone's playing field decks, play the Taxes decks. They have a real bad time against that deck. Trust me, because I say I play a lot of Uro. The problem is when you don't have a rental service, or Modern is expensive when you get more than one deck. You got to learn your pet deck and go, right, these are my good matchups, these are bad matchups. How can I utilize a sideboard to do this? Like I imagine you've got the same as I've got with an Infect. I've got my Infect deck. I've got multiple colors of my Infect deck, and then I've got about 60 cards that can go in the sideboards depending on what different meta there is. And this is where it used to be have a specialist in your deck and you'd learn all the different things. Now it's with rental services, we're kind of spoiled for choice, really.
So you played some Control recently. What do you think of Celestial Colonnade? Some people are asking, is this card playable anymore?
I have seen it in straight white blue decks, the Control decks that are playing it. I know Spike's been playing it in. What's Spike been playing it in? I think it was like maybe it's Jeskai. Tell me that kid 1 or 2. Like that, basically untapped lands at the minute. You've got to have a real big reason to not have an island and not have an untapped and have a tapped land in a control deck. Because this deck this card's a thing.
Yeah, so like you really want to have turn 4 Mystic Sanctuary available to you so you can start recycling some of your spells that you've already played and call Celestial Colonnade.
The fact that card is an island and can be fetched is incredible.
Can't remember how to spell Colonnade. I think it's COLNN.
Just go back twice, right? You just had it.
There we go. Colonnade. So yeah, this used to be a staple for Control, but it just goes to show that this card is so good that they're not going to risk having like a non-island in their deck. because this card creates, well, I mean, it potentially can create some sort of loop, but at the very least, it can recycle another spell from the graveyard over and over and over again, whether it's Lightning Bolt, Lightning Helix, Path to Exile. You like normally you use your spell and you don't get it anymore. That's what the point of it being in the graveyard. And every single fetch land turns potentially into another one of those spells in the graveyard.
Well, even with you got the counterbalance decks that Spike plays. Oh, okay, you're gonna play 1/2. Well, I'll fetch. I'll put my bolt on top and I counter it. It's got extra elements to it, which
I got so hard with that. I had this Force Negation in my hand, and like I know if you play a Planeswalker, I got it. And there's a counterbalance on the battlefield. I'm like, I don't care about this thing. I have Cavernous Souls. I can cast my creatures. It doesn't matter. They play Jace the Mind Sculptor, Force Negation. They cracked a fetch land, put a Force Negation from their graveyard back on top of their library. My Force Negation gets countered for nothing. And yeah, anyway, I got blown out there.
And it's a great play.
So like, yeah, this might be a real thing soon. Again, thanks to this card.
One more way of getting things on top of your deck. Like, bear in mind, you've got the two Thassa's Oracle, is it? That also helps with those sort of decks.
Thassa's Oracle? You mean with the
counterbalance? So Thassa's Oracle, look at the top two.
I guess you can put something on top.
No, not Oracle. That's a lie. It's not Thassa's Oracle. Thassa's...
Oh, I know. Oath of something. Thassa. It's not Oath of Thassa, or is it Oath of Thassa? I don't think so. I want to say it's Oath of Thassa, but it's not Oath of Thassa.
You should know every blue card, and so don't you like praise Thassa? Is that not the Merfolk?
It's a control card. Thassa's something.
Chat. Use your big brains. Where are they?
Thassa doesn't even show up here. What's going on here?
I'll find it.
Thassa's rebuff.
No.
Is there not actually Thassa? It's Thassa on the picture, that's for sure. Omen of the Sea. Wow.
The Sea. I feel upset that you didn't know that. You're like, literally, that is you. If you had to, name Nikachu something, what would you call him? Oh, he's the Omen of the Sea.
The blue preordained enchantment. So yeah, with this, you can stack your deck. But I mean, two ways. You either cast this thing at flash speed, or you can sacrifice it, scry 2, and enable counterbalance. I've been trying to get card draw in Legacy Death and Taxes, so I'm gaming Standstill into it. It seems to kind of work depending on a matchup. Any real suggestion to get more draws in Legacy for Death and Taxes? Do you play much Death and Taxes in Legacy?
Can't say I do. I'm really high on lands at the minute. I'm loving lands in Legacy.
I mean, I would say like Death and Taxes is doing really well in Legacy from what I heard. Like it's a real deck, and it preys on a lot of the stupid decks out there.
Death and Taxes has got good in Modern and Legacy more than it was, purely because of that new 3-drop that's really damn good.
3-drop and the new 1-drop. Oh no, I don't know. Of course.
What's the 1-drop?
Well, for Modern, there's the 1-drop, the Give of Runes. I don't know if that actually saw play in Legacy though.
No, they got Mother, right?
See, look at this. Death and Taxes. I don't think you even want card draw, because this deck is not trying to win with card draw. Like these other decks try to win with card draw. You're just using your resources to. Oh, you want your card draw? You play Yorion apparently. What the hell is this? Yorion in Death and Taxes? Well, I guess so. It's just a mono white deck, a 60-card mono white deck.
I think Five Claves is what's really pushed Death and Taxes deck over at the minute. The fact that you can get rid of something, and when your creature dies, it doesn't come back. They just get a token.
Is this stock? Is this stock?
No.
How many decks are playing Yorion? They're all playing Yorion. Why?
Why?
Why? Wait, what do you want to blink? This? I guess they just want the extra card. Wow, they're real. Oh, Recruiter of the Guard is something they can blink. And maybe they can reset Sanctum Prelate and Skyclave Apparition. It doesn't look like it should be in the deck, and about, you're making your deck less consistent putting this in it. You want your card draw? This is how it's done. It's Yorion. That's your extra. That's your 8th card in your hand. It's literally the one. They're literally playing. I didn't know this. I've been sleeping on the Legacy Death and Taxes tech.
There is a 60-card one, but it did worse. That was in the Legacy this last weekend.
Another Yorion list. I mean, okay, so we can look at let's look at this 4th place finish in. Oh, this is some dice games. I want to see something else. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm looking at League.
Challenge 24th. Okay, so this is a Did that one place just have like tons of?
I think someone must have done something like 5.0 to publish an article, and loads of people jumped on it to try it for that one tournament. It must be.
Well, here's another one. Yeah, like by XJ Cloud. 468 ticks online. Yorion as the companion. We can look at this. So I mean, like, this is third place in the metagame. I heard this is doing really, really well. Oh, it's all of XJ Cloud's fault. It's for the Snoko matchup. So what edge do we get by playing with Yorion? I don't get it. I just see. Well, I guess you can flicker Wisp. You can flicker Recruiter of the Guard, maybe Sanctum Prelate, Skyclave Vapor. Okay, you get more of everything. Walking Ballista. Do you tutor for this? There's only one in this deck. Oh yeah, you can tutor it. Recruiter of the Guard. Yeah. Charming Prince, Mother of Runes, Revoker, Cleric, Spirit of the Labyrinth. Each player can't draw more than one card each turn. Must be nice. Playing in a format without Lava Dart. Must be nice. And now everyone is playing with Yorion. This is playable in Legacy. This is nuts to me.
That's good to know, though, because then we got the Mad Traders tournament coming up next weekend. Mm-hmm. And now if I see Yorion, at least I know it's left in taxes.
That's right. Exactly. I mean, I would be totally. Huh?
You do some Legacy Merfolk?
I haven't been playing any Legacy, but you know what? I'm going to start jamming something. I would like to qualify for that Mana Traders Open. Got to get in that Mana Traders Open. Got to support Mana Traders free tournaments. It's free. You don't pay anything. You can win cash prizes. I like free rolls.
And you should use code Nikachu MTG for 15% off your first 3 months. Did I get that right? I'm guessing it's Nikachu MTG.
Code Nikachu for 15% off your first 3 months. Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. And while we're at it, we can also thank my other sponsors, themanabase.com, your home base for everything Magic the Gathering, and it's supported by Fusion Gaming Online, my favorite local game store. Deal of the week, save 20% off old gaming accessories at Fusion Gaming Online. Do you have a favorite local game store, Willie Hall?
Yeah, I do. Union County Games.
Do they have a website?
Union County Games. Yeah, that's it might be a .com
or .uk.
That's it. There you go.
There we go. Union County Games.
That's my my local. My friend actually owns that company. He's built it up from the ground. So yeah, he's doing.
I feel the site is so similar to Fusion's in a lot of ways.
They might all use the same base.
They probably have the same thing. We have our banner at the top. You have your banner a little bit lower at the bottom.
If you're in Europe, go use Union County Games. If you're in America or Canada, use your one. We do ship to America, but it's that's the point.
Fusion does the same thing. Fusion ships worldwide. I don't know about Antarctica.
We should try that.
We should try it. We send something to Antarctica.
Antarctica, and I can't even say the word. Someone from your huge base on YouTube will we do it? Put it in the comments, and let's just post them something and see if we can do it. I'll pay for it.
Is anyone from Antarctica?
And by any chance? Signs Nikachu Island. I'll pay for it to get posted to you. I just want to see if it does go there. Let's just test it. Or we could have a race. We send one from the UK, one from Canada.
Who gets to Antarctica first?
Yeah, exactly.
We need to contact because there's definitely research bases there. I don't know if they accept mail, but I don't even. I want to know what the person at the post office, their face is going to be like when they see at the bottom of my envelope Antarctica. Literally Antarctica, yes.
I'm from the North Pole. Are you really? Are you just trolling? And is that a lickitung in your picture? Like someone drew a lickitung?
Sending shit to Antarctica is really difficult. I had to serve someone there once. Whoa! You have to serve someone in Antarctica? You mean you literally physically have to go there? Or you're allowed to just mail something? Well, maybe you will know better than the rest of us how to get something to Antarctica.
Do you know where the picture of... I'm pretty sure the picture of Mikey J100. Do you know where that picture's from?
No, I actually don't.
It's...
It looks like... oh, wait a minute.
It's
Curious George?
Film. No, it's the film, isn't it? It's the little sticker they have on the drugs. It's
Oh, I have no idea.
It's like, oh God, I can't remember the name of the film. That's going to drive me crazy. Mikey, help me out. It's the one about the traffic cops. And it's really funny. Super Troopers. That's the one. It's from Super Troopers.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Super Troopers, you need to watch that film. It's so good.
I've seen the first one. If there wasn't there a second one?
Yeah, they did a second one as well. It wasn't as good as the first, but it's still good.
I'll just stick with the first one.
Random on tangent there.
Next. No problem.
Did someone have a deck list? I see deck review there.
Yeah, people are submitting early for a deck list review. Just to finish off, though, you don't need any card draw in Death and Taxes. I mean, the whole idea is you're going to use value card. I mean, I guess they're going for value, effective card draw with Yorion, Recruiter of the Guard.
The main idea is just to stop your opponent having fun with this deck, right? Like, you're going to keep doing your stuff, chip away damage while they have a hard time doing whatever they're trying to do. They can't kill your stuff because of Mother. You're going to lock down their Planeswalkers. You're going to get a GT out. You're going to really incrementally grind them out when they're, and you punish decks that keep like greedy one-landers and think a Brainstorm's going to get them there.
You got to submit the deck every single day. It gets wiped out the next day. So I don't get like double submissions. Or I don't get a deck list that you submitted like a week ago and you're not here. So what is the difference between Tin Fins and then Reanimator? I don't know. I don't remember. I know there are some differences. If Lord Magicus is still here, he will definitely know the differences. He knows the nuances of Legacy very well.
Yeah, I don't even know what Tin Fins is. To me, that sounds like Artifacts Merfolk.
Let me look up there. Let's just... Tin Fins artifacts. Merfolk, yeah. It does sound like a Merfolk deck that's mixed with a lot of artifacts.
Hey, Big Monkey. I see you in the chat.
Tin Fins by somebody. Children of Koilos, Grave Titan, Grizzlebrand, Emrakul. What is the Reanimate? Like, it is sort of Reanimator deck. But there is like... Is it because of Tendrils of Agony? I think that's the point.
So it has a combo element as well as a...
Yeah.
Bear in mind that deck came 1,252nd place in the Grand Prix. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's not that consistent.
it's most certainly...
How did that get published? You know what I mean?
That is a good point. Wow, they publish like everything. Well, you know what? Why not? Here's the thing, like you have to submit things online, so they have everybody's deck list and they have everybody's like username and code. So I guess when the tournament is over, all right, we're gonna throw out all the deck lists. So go wild, go enjoy everything.
You know what really annoyed me is when here's a humble brag. When Twitch did the Rivals Invitational thing that they did, I managed to get on that and I top 8'd it. And I won quite a nice chunk of money. But when they published my name, they just put William Hall. They didn't put the WillHallExp. So now if you ever search for it, no one has a clue that's me. I'm like, God,
right.
So annoying.
Well, yeah, it's the balance between using your online username and your real name. There's like a lot. There are some high-profile published finishes under my real name that are not under the Nikachu name. So Grizzlebrand is reanimated, and then they use that to fuel Tendrils and Tin Fins. That's the difference. So
okay, yes. You draw, cycle off a load of mana, draw, cycle off a load. Yeah, okay, I can get that.
It's a mangled looking combo.
It's a still had all D's type deck.
They use children to gain back life from Grizzlebrand, and you can draw your deck. All right. Fuck it, just do a bragging brag. Yeah, we can brag here. I don't mind bragging. I have no problem bragging.
This one time at band camp, found a bear, they shot it in the head, they killed it, and it died. That's my only brag. Mikey J, brag about something. Come on.
The poor bear. All right, we can do deck list review now. You know how this works, Willie Hall? You know how this works?
Someone's going to show us a deck, and we're going to tell them if it's good, bad, or how we can make it better, or how we could probably make it worse.
Well,
you're going to make
it better. If it is bad, I try to break it to them easily.
No, I'm not there for this. I'll tell you. I'm not going to like step around it. I'm trying not to swear.
Make sure you have thick skin today. We got Willie Hall on the stream. Okay, so let's how do we do
look, a Mr. Beast t-shirt. Oh look, how cool am I? It's signed.
Oh sweet. You have a signed Mr. Beast t-shirt?
Yeah. Don't
cool stuff. More brags. Do I have anything to brag about? It's my cat here.
I like bragging in front of Mikey J now. That's like my new thing. Anytime I see Mikey J, I'm just gonna tell him something cool I've done.
So remember, use the command !deck review space, give the URL to your deck list, plus leave any comments. Let me know what format. Is it on a budget? Do you need help with the sideboard, main deck? Where do you want us to put the focus on? Are there matchups that you're struggling with? Helps us determine what needs to be fixed in the deck list. So, and with that, I can start retrieving deck lists.
Do your wizardry.
And you can keep submitting as we are doing deck review.
Is anyone else doing Movember? No, okay, just me.
Nope. It's a lot of you look great with it. You know what? I still can't, because when I first met you, you had the huge mustache, and it looked great. It looked like it was part of your personality. I didn't know that this was like a COVID thing.
No, I kept it, but I got picked up because it was too big and curly. Someone high rank told me I had to shave it, so upset.
Shave this thing. What are you doing? The mask won't work.
Oh yeah, now there's a mask. You probably hide it. To be fair, you're doing no shave. Lord, I want a picture. Tweet it.
Oh, whoops. Where is? Okay, the one that chosen was Tenstaries. Let's go check out this list. What's the feedback? Modern Jund with unique twist, looking for any new suggestions or idea with no budget at all. You have no budget? You have infinite money? All right. We're going to pretend like you have infinite money. Ponzu. So we've got, I guess it's like Jund Ponzu. We have Birds of Paradise, Elves of the Deep Shadow, Hex Parasite, Viscera Seer.
There's a combo in here. This is a
Fauna Shaman. Malira.
Oh, is this a Kiki combo?
This is Kiki. Does it also have the Malira combo? Because it's got Malira in it. Spellskite. Why even Malira? Well, I guess
so it's got Infinite Life combo because it's got Kitchen Finks, Malaria plus Kiki Jiki, and then it's got Yawgmoth. Does Yawgmoth mean there's an infinite combo to draw your deck out? Or am I missing something here?
Pay one life, sacrifice another creature. Do you know what? It might. Yeah, there might be infinite. Okay, with Kitchen Finks and Malira out, this thing will never get count. It will keep coming back every single time and gain you 2 life. So what you can do with Yawgmoth is you can pay a life, sacrifice Kitchen Finks, comes back normal, and then you draw a card. Yeah, you can draw your deck. And
basically you get infinite gain life. So you got you can also because you got Cutthroat there as well, right? So that's Cutthroat just down.
Can't infinite gain life because you can only draw so many cards.
Well, enough until you can get a Cutthroat out, and then you can combo off, right?
Where's the Cutthroats?
Oh no, it's not. Oh, it's Zealous Conscript. I thought it was a Cutthroat. Okay,
no, it's a Conscript. No, you can do. I'm sure there is. What's it called? Murderous Redcap. Where's Murderous Redcap? There it is. So you can. This one can combo off, but you'd probably still need to wait a turn in order to untap and actually cast this thing, unless there's another one. Wolf Rider. Sacrifice another creature. Scry one.
To be fair, that is like my one standing out thing from this is Malira. Get that card out of here. No one wants to see that card in Modern. Where's my get rid of that card. Let's put it aside. Let's never put that in our 75 ever. This card is very, very bad. It's just a 2/2. It doesn't do anything. Yeah,
of course, the Infect player. You must have been happy when like Birthing Pod got banned because that card like basically disappeared.
Yeah, it's sometimes I play against Elves players and they sometimes play 1 or 2 and it gets me every time.
So yes, it's a toolbox deck. It can draw the deck with Yawgmoth. Main goal is normally Malira combo with a small backup of Kiki combo.
Okay, so if we're going to change this, I would say you want some of the the free drop, sack a creature, go find something with 2 power, 2 casting cost more. I can't remember what it's called. It's a free drop.
Eldritch Evolution, and I would say I would agree with that. You need like more weight. You have these type of decks usually go all in on about 7 tutor effects. You have only 5, so you can't really consistently play this. This deck isn't going to like consistently play out very well. I don't mind the collected companies, so it's either like, well, unless you really need Yawgmoth, because Yawgmoth is not going to get into play with collected company. So I agree. There should be.
I would kind of not play the companies, and I'd go more in the like 4 package 4 of the 1 pack, and like just try and refine your toolbox instead of having a random hit of 6 cards.
Probably we should probably not play with Magus of the Moon in the main deck, or if you do, just play with 1 so we can make some room there.
Unless you're really trying to get a lot of Tron players, which I'm all for, by the way. I'm all for that.
Because you're already a 3-color deck. I mean, yeah, you don't get hit maybe too hard because of Birds of Paradise, but you're still a 3-color deck. Some percentage of the time, this is going to kill you.
What do you think about Acid Slime? It's a 5-drop that you can
Acidic Slime.
Acidic Slime, that's the one. And it basically can deal with anything. It can deal with a field. It can deal with an enchantment. It can deal with an artifact. Now, this card's actually really good, I think. And it can also block Tarmogoyfs.
Maybe with Eldritch Evolution, this is possible because you can turn your 3-drops into this 5-drop. So that seems pretty reasonable. I think most of the time people just reach for Reclamation Sage. But it doesn't kill. It doesn't have Death Touch, obviously. It doesn't. I mean, this used to be a standard powerhouse. there was a time you could blink this with Restoration Angel. So you like blow up a land, blink it, blow up another land. It looks really slow, but actually it was pretty fast. So,
I like to play one of this in my Yawgmoth combo deck occasionally. Just like,
actually, I think it's reasonable.
Having a catch-all. Also, 1 Wall of Roots. I think that basically some of the numbers in this deck could just do with getting trimmed a little bit, I think.
Well, the thing is, this deck is, I think, trying to do too much. You got to be a little bit more focused. So you can't like go all in on the Ponza plan. I don't know. Maybe you don't even want to be on the Ponza plan. Just bring this in when you know it will hose the deck. So have it as sitting in the sideboard somewhere. But definitely
one main deck. Like if you got a load, if you got 8 ways to tutor for it, having 1 in the main, that's fine. And then having 2 more on the board, it's ideal. You know what I mean? You got more chance of drawing it after game 1. And then game 1, if it is really that good, you can bring it out.
Six Slime seems really nice. I got a few. I mean, no, you said blocks Tarmogoyf, blocks Scourge of the Skyclaves, Death Shadow, trades with anything. It's
more so if you have like Call to Calling, you can instant speed, get it, blow up a land or something troublesome, and then block the attacking Death Shadow and trade with that. You know what I mean? Like it 9 out of 10 times will do 2 things for the price of 1.
Remove up to X counters from target permanent. You should just kill the Planeswalker. I mean, you're a creature-based deck. Just put out creatures and attack the damn thing and kill it. I think that's better than Hex Parasite. Or you should just use like Hex Parasite. I don't think is very impressive by itself, and it costs you life.
Looking at how this deck plays out, have you seen the Yawgmoth combo deck? Like I feel like that's more of a tuned version of this, and it's only 2 color. It's got lots of multiple ways to go off. Like if you've got infinite budget, you know what I mean? Maybe if you want to start doing this sort of thing, you go to the decks that is tried and tested. Look at Tom Ross. He's like kind of pioneering it a lot.
Tom Ross is the Yawgmoth person. I'm getting a lot of questions actually about Yawgmoth recently because like he's pulling results through with it. No one else is, but like he is. So it's a proof of concept that, Yawgmoth is the thing to do.
Come on, I'm like a cheap Tom Ross. Who do you think pioneered the first deck that like that?
You?
No, Aspiring Spike. But then I checked the deck and I was the first 5-0 with it. And then it got published, and then Saffron Olive played it on a stream, made a video of it, made a deck tech of it, and then
look how things cascaded from there.
Basically a big deal. You don't understand how privileged you are to have me on your.
You basically made the deck.
You know what I mean, guys?
It's not who invented it; it's who made it, who brought it to the world.
Exactly. This nobody from England.
Is there a Yawgmoth deck we can look at just to compare? Let's see.
It means your mana is better because you've only got 2 sorts, 2 colors of mana. You're basically dropping red. It's pretty damn consistent. This is which one's this
is relatively recent, like
this is from the FTD. So the other good thing about this deck is people still don't really know about it.
Oh, well,
if you rock up to a GP with this, once upon a time it's not legal anymore. But if you rock up to a GP or a big tournament, and if people don't watch Twitch or YouTube and they're not like too up with the meta, you'll turn up with this deck and they'll have no idea what they're meant to kill or sideboard in. And this deck is very resistant. Against Death Shadow decks, it's very good because everything takes 2 removal spells to get killed. You can combo off at instant speed using Quarter Coolings. This deck is very, very good. I play this a lot.
Okay, so if you know the combos, what are all the combos that this deck has to combo off? Because that was the point of the Jund one, was to play Murderous Redcap. So what can we do in the Golgari
so the idea
colors?
is you have Yawgmoth in play with 2 Undying creatures. So Yawgmoth says, obviously, pay 1 life, sack a creature. Well, you don't have to sacrifice. You don't have to bet a -1/- counter on a creature, but basically you go back and forth. So when an Undying creature dies, it comes back to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it.
Yeah, so like Young Wolf here.
Yeah, so say you got 2 Young Wolf. So Young Wolf dies, it comes back as a 2/2 because it's got +1/+1 counter on it. I now sack the other Young Wolf without a counter on it, which means that one will come back with a counter on it, and I put a -1/-1 counter on this Young Wolf.
Yeah, you got to put
which makes me go infinite, but I'm only infinite as much life as I have because I'm losing 1 life every time. So the way to counteract that is by putting a Cutthroat into play. Is that a Cellport Cutthroat?
Yep.
So every time a creature dies, so every loop I do, my opponent will lose 1 life, I will gain 1 life. I'm losing 1 life anyway from each loop of the combo. So basically, I'm not losing any life, but my opponent will lose a life every time. Counteract to this is if you have say if they have infinite life, you can't do it because you're going to deck yourself.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I haven't ever come across that scenario, is you will combo off and you'll be able to go through this cycle X amount of times to kill your opponent. It doesn't work with Kitchen Finks. Kitchen Finks comes back with a -1/-1 counter on it, not a +1/+1. So you can only really use Kitchen Finks for value. Using it with your chords to come back or evolving from it. The other combo that you don't need Cutthroat for is if you're on a higher life total than your opponent, you can just go off using a messenger and another Undying creature, because every loop your opponent will lose 2 and you will also lose 2. But if you're a higher life total than them, they're going to die before you die. And that's it. So there's 2 combos out there. They all involve Yawgmoth. Obviously, the third combo is you have a beatdown, right? You've got all these Strangleroot Geists, which have haste. You got Young Wolves, and then you got and while you're beating down with that, and you have to worry about it, you're slowly building your board to be able to call a cordon for that combo piece that you need, and go off that way. It's very, very good, this deck.
Strangely, some of these are just really good beatdown creatures, like Strangleroot Geist, and then all of a sudden, if your opponent wants to wrath the board, comes back as a 3/2, and it's an even bigger problem than it was before.
How quick this deck can go wide, though, it's like, so your turn 1 birds, turn 2 into Wall of Roots, -Wall of Roots, use the bird, get down a either 2 Young Wolves or Strangleroot, start getting the beats in, and you got that. Worst case scenario is when you draw the Cutthroat, 9 out of 10 times you want that in your deck to be a tutor target, because even though you're tapped out, if you can combo off and draw multiple cards, it's basically until you draw a Quarter Cooling, then you Quarter Cooling, get the Cutthroat into play, and then you just keep going off.
So there's a new Court of Calling art.
Yeah, it's the new one for the Secret Lair in it. The one they're doing for Extra Life.
So, and we have 8, basically, we have 8 direct tutor targets, cards. Eldritch Evolution will find exactly Yawgmoth. Same thing with Court of Calling when it needs to happen.
On an Undying creature, value. Your creature dies, comes back, because you're just constantly gaining value through your combo while getting a beat down here. And the worst case scenario, you play against decks like Jund and Death Shadow, these heavy removal decks, the red-black one. They have to 2-for-1 themselves all the time just to get one of your creatures off the battlefield.
Yep. Am I correct that Wall of Roots is still broken on Magic the Gathering Online? I heard there's some bug with it.
Not that I'm aware of. I'm sure.
Okay. I just don't know. Like, I still see Jeff Hoogland complaining that Wall of Roots is bugged on Magic the Gathering Online, or maybe he's just blowing off steam for the fact that it was broken for like over a year or something like that.
I've never blocked someone so quick on Twitter than that man. So I never hear any of his complaints. When people talk about it, I'm like, I don't know.
Very polarized figure, we'll just say. Very polarized figure.
Not my cup of tea. Not my cup
Well, it
of
has
tea.
something to do with Court of Calling. It wouldn't let you use the counter and tap it to pay for. Okay. So it's might. So this deck would end up being, huh?
You had to. You can't click Court of Calling, then sack, then use a mana and tap it. You have to use a mana, then cast Court of Calling, and then tap the Wall of Roots.
Oh, so you have to float a mana.
That has to be done. I don't know. I'm not a judge. I don't know if once you go to cast it, you should be able to use a counter. I'm guessing you should, but maybe that's the bug they're talking about.
Well, okay. So someone, what's really funny is that you're able to make this work, but nobody told Jeff Hoogland how to make this work. And he just kept saying that it was broken the entire time. And Magic the Gathering Online staff is like, what are you talking about? Like, people are using this thing. Well, anyway, I didn't know. I don't use Wall of Roots, so if anyone has problems with this card online, you float the mana first, then cast because that's not intuitive. You're not usually supposed to cast the card first and then you pay for the costs. No. But float the mana first, it will work.
True day. Any problems with it coming with that? This is so going on to the Jund deck. This is a more fine-tuned deck. If I always believe if you become a master of this deck, you're going to win a lot of games because no one, you're just going to get free wins because people don't know how to sideboard against you. They don't know what your combo is until you go off. And even then, some people don't understand. You just get a message in chat going, "Am I dead?" You're like, yeah, you're dead.
Yeah, it's over. It does have a lot of surprise value right now. It really caught me off guard the first time I saw it. These days, if I see Overgrown Tomb into Birds of Paradise, I know what I'm up against. But even then, I don't remember all the nuances of the deck. I just know that this is a Yawgmoth deck because I just so seldom play against this thing. So it's really a sleeper in the format. If you can make this one of the weapons that you have prepared for an event, I mean, it will be definitely worth your interest. So I mean, or at the very least, I hope this build inspires some idea how to maybe refine your own Jund deck, or you just go in this direction.
There is I'm pretty sure a load of cards have been banned since then. So there was a 4-color version of a deck like this, which is the very first nuance of Yawgmoth going off the Yawgmoth combo deck. It was a 4-color one, and that I don't think it played red. I think it played every other color but red. But it had the Revolt 3/2 that you could bring something back from the graveyard. God, what's that one called? It was like a green-white card, but you also had Phantasmal Image. So you'd Phantasmal Image and Undying Creature, then you'd sack the Undying Creature. It would come back in. It would get that back, and you'd come
about Renegade Rallier. Renegade Rallier.
Yeah, maybe that's right. Yeah. You'd have to. I wonder if I can find a deck list here.
Phantasmal Image and Persist was a hell of a thing. I don't know if this is what you're talking about. The 3/2.
It roll around that goes that was a real cool value engine deck that I definitely can't find. Goldfish. I wonder if this would find it. Yawgmoth's Will. That's definitely not what I'm after. I am Will.
Wizards of the Coast needs to make Title Warrior work. This is like a legacy card that's just been broken for like, I don't know, 2 years, maybe 3 years now.
Which card's this?
Title Warrior. It's a blue one. It's just a 1/1 merfolk that says tap, turn target land into an island. It's not modern. It's not a modern card, but it's a legacy playable card. But what it does is it removes all the abilities from an island instead. So it's actually even stronger. So they can't even tap it for mana, but then you can't play the card because you know it's broken. And that would be cheating. And they don't fix it.
You know that. What do you think? No, that's not even. I'm not going to ask that question. It's a dumb question. Oh, I've just seen Lord's.
We get a lot of questions on this show. I mean, there's no right or wrong question.
I was going to say, do you think Stifle would be good in Modern, like legal? If it was legal in Modern, do you think it would see a lot
I think it would be fine. I think it would be fine. It might see play in Death Shadow decks.
I'd play in my Euro decks. You joking? Stifle, Uro. Cool. 6/6, go. Crack on.
If you want, but then you don't get to. Oh, I guess you could just stifle one half of the trigger, and you can let the other trigger resolve. But I mean, you have the ability to do this. You can play like Torpor Orb into Uro. Torpor Orb turn 2, Uro turn 3.
Where are these deck lists? Chat, why are you not submitting these deck lists?
We've sort of built. No, I don't. We didn't build. There's someone came up with a list like this. It had like Hushbringer and Torpor Orb to like ramp out Croxes and Uros.
Anyway. I've got a lot of time for that. Got a lot of time for. Crux is a card I want to be better than it is. Like, it's good when it gets going, but it's just when you put it alongside Uro, you're like, oh, cool toy you've got there. I'm gonna go play with my tank.
Okay, let's go find another deck list. We got JP2493's deck list has been chosen. Born in 1993.
Well, no. He said in the chat it was his dad's army service number.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. We got black, white Eldrazi.
No one wants Eldrazi. No one wants to play Tron decks. Get it off. What a rubbish deck.
23 lands. The 3-color Eldrazi deck. Screw Eldrazi. Wait, at least it's not Eldrazi Tron. This guy had he had a choice. We could go black, white Eldrazi. We could go straight Eldrazi Tron. He chose not to play the Tron lands. Fatal Push and Path to Exile. Reality Special, Stoneforge, Mystic Thought-Knot Seer, Tide Hellsculler, Wasteland Strangler. I guess there are enough things exiled. Yeah, Thought-Knot Seer, Tide Hellsculler, and also Path to Exile will enable Wasteland Strangler. Inquisition of Kozilek, Lingering Souls, Thoughtseize, Batterskull, Maul of Skyclaves, 4 Rel. Oh, we have even more ways of exile. This actually is a pretty good main deck card for this sort of archetype.
For the meta at the minute, it's pretty good as well.
Yeah.
I don't like the 1 Thoughtseize 3 Inquisition split.
Oh, yeah, okay. What's your reasoning?
I think it's going to be inconsistent. I'd go 2/2 if you're wearing. I suppose it's mana dependent, right? Like, not mana dependent, meta dependent. What you think you're going to play against? Think you're playing against like Death Shadow, Inquisition's fine. Playing against a lot of Tron, you want the Thoughtseizes. But I don't know, maybe that's something that you just cards you own. Maybe you haven't got the Thoughtseizes yet. But I'd probably stick towards. I think you could probably bump that number up as well. I think we could cut something somewhere to, level that out. Maybe get like 3 and 2 split, kind of like a Jun style.
Mm-hmm. Oh, welcome MTG Tavern. If you've by the way, Willie Hall's on here. You want to come up here and talk some Living End with me?
I was actually meant. Tavern asked me to do something to literally right now, and I said, "Oh yeah, I'll do it." And then you messaged me going live in 5 minutes. Oh shit! I forgot. I've got to do something with Nikachu in a minute. And then
I did the same thing with Timu. I both said, you want to come on the show, let me know. And I said, Thursday and Friday are both open. And then you're the first one to get back to me, or at least you're the first person I read. Okay, let's do something on Thursday. And then he said, oh yeah, Thursday was okay. But I said, well, got Willie Hall on Thursday. It's a busy schedule.
There's little people off for these big people. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's extremely tough.
But it's seriously, Tavern. You DM me on Twitter or something. We can get you on the show just like Willie Hall here.
Tavern's fun. If you're not following Tavern, ladies and gentlemen, you need to follow Tavern. He's very fun to watch. he's a figure. He also looks like an egg, but besides that bit, he's a very nice guy.
Okay, so we have the Thoughtseize. Okay, so what did I want to say about this list? So a lot of people are mentioning this deck should probably have Eldrazi Displacer somewhere. But what do we take out? Do we take out? I guess we can keep the Hand Disruption. It combos with. I think a lot of the Eldrazi cards have been displaced by Stoneforge Mystic.
Again. How consistent is it that we get turn 1 black?
4. Oh, okay. So we have 4, 7. This does not count. 9, 12. Just 12, actually. It's not that consistent. We may not have turn 1 black all that. We need 14 sources to get turn 1 black mana consistent. I wonder how different is this? I don't think I ever... No, maybe I do see Fetid Heath. I don't know. Did I count this correctly? 4, 7... 9, 12. Yeah. What does a normal black-white Eldrazi deck look like for these Inquisitions? I don't even know if they need them. I mean, I know I've seen them played.
On black. So if you never keep a hand about turn 1 black, how often do you mulligan?
Well, you might keep it anyway, keep the hand anyway, because you still can use turn 2 black, turn 1 Ether Vial. There's a lot of, they might go for like turn 2, turn 3 Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes instead of doing it immediately. They have 24 lands normally, 4 Caves of Koilos, 4 Concealed Courtyard. So this is 4, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They do have the 14 lands. So maybe if you want to be playing, okay, so maybe if you want to be playing with these hand disruption spells, you should copy what's probably the stock mana base.
So looking from this list here that you've got and the other one, the main change I can see are relics. Like because we're playing 4 relics in the other one, but this one's making basically it's got 4 displacers is the real change here, right?
I guess so. It's outside of that, it's basically the same deck.
Also, like displacer with Fortnuts here is when people start top decking is an absolute nightmare to play against.
Yes, and also this combo is just for at least the creature-based decks. I can't beat this combo. There's usually a lot of cards in exile. I would say, well, yeah, and this again is playing like a balance of Thoughtseizing, Inquisition, even Collective Brutality.
Where are they getting? What extra cards are we playing then? Because I'm trying to work out where it's just the extra.
You know what? For the most, we're playing Lingering Souls over some more hand disruption and stuff. So maybe we could dump. Well, one thing for certain, we need. If you want to consistently cast Thoughtseize and Inquisition turn 1, you need 14 black sources in your deck. Up your Concealed Courtyards and up your. We need at least 1 more of these and like either 1 more Swamp or 1 more Silent Clearing. In the past, I tested Displacer. I always felt like it was 3 mana, 3/3. Well, what you could do is you can hold it back until you have the mana for it. Like you take your Vial to 3, then you Vial it in, and you start getting value out of it.
Have you got Vials in this deck?
Usually these decks have Vial.
So
oh, that's interesting. There's no Vial here. Is there Vial here? There's no Vial here? Have I ever been up against a black-white Eldrazi and Taxes deck without Vial? Oh, that's interesting. There's no Vial here. Or maybe that's the difference between Stoneforge Mist.
This is a Stoneforge build, right? This is black-white Eldrazi Stoneblade.
Okay.
It's got none of that 2 drop that you have to pay 2 when you search your deck and stuff.
But even then, like most Stoneforge decks have like a Vial in it. Like the Death and Taxes builds.
You know what? Maybe that you should get rid of the 4 relics and put 4 vials in it, because that way you're playing at instant speed as well. You can double spell, which is a big part of this. And if
they're not playing Vial. They say like this is like it's like a poor man's Jund. So if that's the style, then that's fair. So if you're not playing with Vial, you most definitely need a little sharper mana base to, I mean, have turn 1 push available, which you're gonna want, by the way, for like Monastery Swiftspear, Soulscar Mages.
I think the Lingering Souls could get trimmed down. I think we could like get
absolutely. Yeah, of course we could trim them. By the way, Lingering Souls, I don't know if is good synergy with Relic of Progenitus anyway. That's like a non-bow.
Yeah, I think.
And it doesn't take. Well, now I understand why you would think Eldrazi Displacer was clunky, though. Well, here's another thing. If you're not playing with Vial, I actually think you should up your land count to 24. This is a deck that needs to curve out. Like, you really, really need to curve out.
Where do you work your math out for lands? This something's always interested me. I've never been that guy. I know there's probably sites or somewhere.
If you're a fan here, you know what I do. I go to Google. I write how many colored mana sources do I need, and then I write Frank Karsten, and I want to go to the 2018 article. He has 2 articles. He actually has 3 articles now. He just updated one back in 2019. Where is, okay, here's the 2018 article. No, but where's the, or how many mana, or maybe I should just how many mana sources, because I can usually get it popping up in the top. This one? I think it's this one. Here, 2018. That one's free. It's not behind a paywall. Or maybe the new one isn't behind a paywall anymore. I don't know. And then it gives you this chart. And it gives you an idea if you're playing a 60 card deck, a 40 card deck, or a 99 card deck. And this is assuming your deck has no cantrips, no extra card draw. How consistently are you going to get to your mana sources on curve? So if you start at just one color, you just need a single color in a 60 card deck. You need 14 of those sources if you're going to see it 90% of the time. 90 to 92. That's like those were his metrics. If you want to see that color 90% of the time consistently, you put 14. And yeah, this helps so much, and it's helped me sculpt and really push my mana bases to the edge. And so if you need like 2 colors by turn 4, something like Casting Damnation, by turn 4, you need 16 mana sources in your deck.
That's interesting.
If you need triple of one color, like Cryptic Command, you need 20 mana sources. If you need double of one color, like Lord of Atlantis, you need 20. Assuming you're not playing Aether Vial, though.
So JP saying this deck was good in the Hodak summer. I can understand why with the 4 relics main, but we're not in that meta, right? I think you've probably got about 8 slots in your deck which are kind of meta dependent. If you've got loads of graveyard, like Dredge and Upsal spells and loads of Uro decks in your format in your local game store, then it's probably playing 4, smash them, just meta game against your local game store. But going to a GP or a bigger skeleton, I wouldn't do 4 relics in my main deck this weekend in a challenge. I don't think that it's that. Say that I might. Upsal spells did do very well last weekend. But I would have them in my 75 if you're worried about it. But I don't know. I think these could get boarded in and out quite a lot. They cost mana, and in modern, that's not what you're going to be doing your first couple of turns.
So for me, I would prefer to actually cut the souls. I think. I don't know. I don't mind this in the main because it has good synergy with Wasteland Strangler. But then the real question is Wasteland Strangler... Well, first off, I think this is going to eat up enough pretty prominent decks. Uro by itself is going to be like killed. I usually can beat them with like 1 relic, so it's pretty effective there. But how good is Wasteland Strangler right now? Like in general.
How is that going to beat Field of the Dead?
Oh, how does it beat Field of the Dead? I guess their best chance is we do not have
go over the top with smash.
We could go over the top, but a lot of the lists I saw or usually has some sort of like
it has
land hate, Field of Ruin. Outside of that, well, normally a deck like that. Well, you can also first off you can fly in the air, but also generally these decks also have access to. Oh,
I hate Field of the Dead, unfortunately. Yeah, no, I'm not saying like you play Field of the Dead. I mean like you playing versus it. Like you've got one weapon that makes your stuff fly. So that's why Lingering Souls is quite good, that you can attach your equipment to the Lingering Souls. But I don't know if that's going to get you out of they can steal your Lingering Souls. Lingering Souls is quite easy to kill. I feel like Field would be a bit of a hard day for you unless you can get out early, turn 2 Mystic, turn 3 Fortnuts.
Okay, maybe we just go all in on maybe we should just go all in on Lingering Souls. We put the relics in the sideboard. But without relic in the main deck, you may not you might have more game against Field, but you might have a lot less game against just Uro itself.
We got paths, right? We got paths. We do have paths, don't we?
We have paths, but Uro comes into play, gets value, comes back, gets more value. I guess it'll be okay. I guess this card is really tied to the strength of Wasteland Strangler, and I don't know if it's that strong. I can't tell. I mean, we live in a world of like Uro, Omnath, Death Shadows that are really big, Scourge of the Sky Claves.
So chat saying Skyclaves.
Oh, Skyclave Apparition?
I feel like that would be pretty good in here, but then it'd make me want Eldrazi Displacer even more.
I think this deck needs more mana and Eldrazi Displacer. I'm surprised there's no Cavern of Souls, actually. Maybe the original deck never played Cavern of Souls. I don't know.
Cavern of Souls in a 3-color non-tribal deck. It's a bit...
This is tribal, basically. Look, it's Eldrazi tribal. Well, okay, Title, Scholar, Stoneforge. Okay, forget it. I retract my statement. Retracted. Not a single Cavern of Souls. A single Wastes.
Like, I get it. The deck's going to grind things out. You could play things like, what about like Bob? Bob could help you draw more, but then if you Bob into a Smasher, that's bad.
Yeah, this may not be the best Bob deck.
Do you know I played Bob and Gargadon, is it? The like 9 mana.
Oh God!
I played both of them in the same deck for about eight leagues until it hit me. Hold on a minute, I could end up flipping this and doing like 9 damage to myself. And yeah, weirdly, don't listen to my deck building advice.
I once had an opponent. It's funny how people like learn why their spicy tech doesn't work. So I had an opponent. I was in a tournament, and they flipped I think it was Tasigur, or no, it was like Tasigur or Gurmag Angler to their Dark Confidant, and they're like, "Oh, that's why Jund doesn't play this card." So maybe in their mind, Gurmag Angler belonged in their, Dark Confidant Jund deck, and then all of a sudden they take, I'm sure it was a Gurmag Angler.
Some people like to watch the world burn. You know what I mean? Normally they're casting it for 1 mana, but when you flip it and there's 7 to you, like, ooh.
Yeah, thank you. I needed that. I needed that swing. I didn't think that you could, and I've won, and I think I won the game like that. Like, what on earth? My opponent's life was like at 6. What can my opponent flip that could possibly help me win this game? And they flip Gurmag Angler. Whoa, you never know. You never know.
That is a clip it, chat, clip it.
I had an opponent flip Emrakul to Bob in their Mardu Nahiri deck. Oh, that is brutal. That's an onbo. Well, I don't know what feedback you found useful, but I hope some of this feedback was useful. The sideboard is okay.
Fields in the sideboard there.
3 Field of Ruin. Yeah, find some room in the main deck for at least one of these. I think you should have, for 23 lands, I think is too low for a deck that wants to curve out into like reality smashes and stuff like that. I think it's pretty clunky. I think it's pretty low. I think you actually want a lot. Well, I mean, that's why I think the Eldrazi Displacer versions, they also had a lot of mana because they wanted the mana to activate their Eldrazi Displacer at the same time.
Also, you're playing white. Just get rid of the relics and just put Rest in Peace in your sideboard. Just like
your deck doesn't get it. You don't use the. Oh no, I see. They don't want to use Rest in Peace because it nails your Lingering Souls.
The decks of Rest in Peace is good against. Lingering Souls is not good against. It's an easy swap out, right?
Okay.
That's where I'd go with it. Like I think white genuinely in Modern has the best sideboard cards. Like
hands
down.
Rest in Peace is good against Uro, but you also want Lingering Souls against them.
I don't know. I don't know if I would want my 1/1 flyer against them.
But we have them to beat the Field of the Dead. If we don't have them to beat Field of the Dead, then we gotta scoop them out.
I think you're gonna have a hard time against that deck. No matter. I think any deck has a hard time against it, really, unless you're playing the new blue-red Boil Blood Moon,
or you're playing Merfolk.
Yeah, we'll play Merfolk.
Merfolk will beat Uro. You got satisfaction guaranteed. Money back. No money down, money back. I don't know how to sell this. I don't lose to Uro. I have like infinite videos of this.
100% win rate versus.
Yeah, there you go.
Put that in the title, mate. He'll get clipped.
Yeah, 100% win rate versus Uro. I'll show me beating winning 2 matches or something like that.
4/1 flyers though. Fair one. 4/1 flyers. They're attacking for 6 every turn, gaining 3, drawing a card, playing an extra land.
Yeah,
2/2 zombie.
I mean, like those Omnath decks, I mean, their starting life total is like at 45. Now, Merfolk can deal like 20 points of damage a turn to catch up, but like, I don't think these Lingering Souls can do it. Little souls that could. Anyway, I hope that was some useful feedback. Hope that was valuable. Well, anyway, do you want to get rated, Willie?
Not right now. No, but I would appreciate it. But no, I'm not.
Okay, so you're not ready. All right. If any of my guests want to come online, come over, talk Magic, I'm willing to raid you at the end if you're available. Willie Hall's not ready. When do you stream? So for anyone who wants to see you more, where can they find you?
About an hour and a half from now. On EXP. Where is it? There.
Right there.
There. It's not a PG channel. I swear a lot. So if you've got,
they're
kids,
used to it. I think we're all in the fucking same boat.
It's not something I do, but you know, I stream Modern, Legacy, punt a lot. I take it badly. No, I don't take it. I don't take it too badly, but I get crushed a lot at the minute, which is really annoying. But then I'm also 5-0ing a lot recently. It's one or the other.
High variance.
Yeah. There's no 3-2s. It's either 0-4s or fucking 5-0s.
I think you're still way in the plus. Like, I think you still make money doing that. I think you make more money doing that than going like 3-2 into 2-3, 3-2 into 2-3.
I would make more money from that if every time I 5-0, I didn't give away all the contents of the chests. I open a chest, I give chat different like tasks or questions, and if they get it right, I open a chest and whatever's in the chest I give to them. I'm waiting for that day that I get a full set, a full foil set, and give it away, and then they'll be like, boom, clickbait, go wild over Reddit or something, and people flood to my stream.
Right, excellent.
Nope. Okay, cool.
If you're there for the 5-0s, he gives away what's in the chests.
So you come at the very end of the streams.
Yeah. You're
up at the end.
I once had a giveaway where Spike rated me just as I went 5-0 and I was doing the giveaway. So basically I got like an extra 200 people showing up just in time for the giveaway.
The Spike rate.
Yeah. Well, all right. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much, everyone, for showing up. Again, if you want to find the Will Hall Experience, you can find him on Twitch and YouTube with, when it's that direction, at the Will Hall EXP right over down there. Find him on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter. Is it the same handle on Twitter?
Yep, on Twitter. Yep. You can also find my interview with Nikachu.
Also find that one. He does wonderful interviews with all the content creators.
Yeah, but I say if you want to be a content creator, watch that. I learned a lot.
And yeah, thanks everyone for showing up. So until next time, you keep brewing the coffee, and we'll keep brewing the magic. All right. See you next time. Or actually, I'll be brewing. You brew the magic. I brew the coffee.
That.
See you next time.
Bye.